The Funny Journey Through Life with my wife, Steve Miller.
Good evening, everyone. My name's Steve Miller, and boy, am I nervous. Are you folks nervous? Well, you should be, because you haven't heard my speech yet. It's okay. Sit back, relax, and envision my stories as they unfold before you. My wife Robin and I have been married for 37 years. And you know, sometimes it feels like we've been married since prehistoric times. Let me explain. About 30 years ago, we were traveling to my in-laws to go to dinner. We were on this beautiful country road with hills and ponds and streams. We'd been on this road many times before, but this one particular time was different. As I'm driving along, Robin yells over to me, "Steve, stop the car. I just saw a pterodactyl." Well, I look at her and I go, "Well, what?" "A pterodactyl, you know, like on Fred Flintstone." Well, I didn't think she'd been drinking, but anyway, I saw Jurassic Park, and I've always wanted to see a 150-million-year-old bird with a 40-foot wingspan, so I had to turn the car around. As I'm turning the car around, I look behind me, and there's my daughter Tiffany with her blanket over her head, crying, "Daddy, Daddy, please don't turn around. I saw Fred Flintstone and a pterodactyl. That's scary." Well, I'm thinking the kid's probably right, but it isn't every day you see a pterodactyl. I pull up to where this pterodactyl sighting was, and I can't believe my eyes. There it is! A pterodactyl! Well, actually, he's a lot smaller than I thought he'd be, and it's really not a pterodactyl. It was his cousin, the great blue heron. I'd like to add that the following week, my wife got a new pair of glasses, and we haven't seen another pterodactyl in 30 years. Another time, we're up in Lake Winnipesaukee, New Hampshire. We're with our friends Connie and Mindy. We're on vacation. We went to craft fairs and flea markets all day. Connie and Robin were tired and sleeping in the back. Mindy's looking out the side window, and I'm driving to the condo. All of a sudden, Mindy yells over to me, "Turn the car around, I just saw some mooses." Well, I'm kind of hard of hearing, and I said, "What? Mooses or mouses?" She goes, "Not mouses, mooses, you know, the one with the horns." Well, it isn't every day you see a moose. Oh, I turned the car around, and all this ruckus woke up Tommy and Robin. We pull up with our cameras ready. Mindy jumps out of the car, taking pictures of these mooses. We all walk up and we're looking. We don't see any mooses. "Mindy, where's the moose?" She goes, "Duh, it's right there in front of you." She sees the moose. The rest of us are looking, and we see cows. We're looking at cows. All I can say is thank God that woman didn't have a hunting license, or we'd still be in jail. My wife Robin and I love animals. We have cats, we feed the birds, and when we go camping, we bring peanuts and we can get the chipmunks to eat right out of our hand. One morning, I'm sitting on the back porch reading the paper, drinking a cup of coffee, a nice relaxing morning. My bathroom window overlooks my in-the-ground pool. Robin looks out the bathroom window, and all of a sudden she starts screaming, "There's a squirrel in the pool! There's a squirrel in the pool! Get the squirrel! Get him!" So much for a relaxing morning. I get the skimmer. I take this squirrel out of the pool, and it isn't looking good. He isn't moving. It's his lucky day, though, because Robin comes running out of the house with this blanket. She goes, she picks up the squirrel, and now she's going to have mouth-to-mouth resuscitation with this squirrel. She pumps its little arms, nothing. She starts pumping it in the water, blowing its mouth, nothing. Pumps its stomach a bit. It starts moving. It's the only squirrel I know survived mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Let me tell you that if there's anything ever wrong with me, I hope my wife Robin's around to save my life. I want to conclude by telling you a story of what happened to us just a few weeks ago while leaf peeking in the Adirondacks. We're driving up Route 87, heading towards Glens Falls, New York. We're by exit 16, just north of Saratoga Springs. I'm in the middle lane, cruise control, driving 73 miles an hour. Now the cars are flying by us left and right. Just ahead, there's that little pull-off where the troopers like to hang out. Well, just as I go by there, this fellow from New Jersey goes flying by us about 90 miles an hour. I look in my side view mirror, and here comes the guy. I look at Robin and I say, hey, somebody's going to get a ticket today. A couple seconds later, I look in my mirror and the cop's behind us. No problem. I'm going 73 miles an hour. I drive up a little bit further, about a quarter mile. There's this flock of turkeys. As I approach the flock of turkeys, they decide it's time to fly across the road. Well, one of them didn't make it. And wham! I hit that bird. That bird flipped up over my truck and hit the cop's windshield and broke it. He turns on his lights. He pulls us over. Says license and registration. Goes back to his car. Comes back a minute later. And he gives me this. A ticket for $200. I look at the ticket. I look at the trooper. And I go, officer, why'd you give me a ticket for $200? For speeding? He goes, no. I gave you a ticket for $200 because you flipped me the bird.